Okay, so now we're getting to the part where I'm going to bake a loaf. Now, rice flour is the flour you want to use at this stage because it does not burn like all other flours. Also, I always scrape when I'm doing this. I will scrape the bread flour I've been using off into a baggie because this stuff's expensive and it's easier to use that way. So now I'm going to show you real quick how to score a loaf. They've been in there about 2.5 hours. I wouldn't normally go this fast, but I'm out of bread and I just want to get it done. Anyway, so. All right, so here's my loaf. At this stage, this will be the top. I personally like when I have a little bit of a salty crust. Because remember, even though I put salt in it, the bread active yeast eats that salt and the carb bonds. There's not really a whole lot in there. So I will put a little bit of rice flour for sticking and a little bit of salt and just kind of squish this around in here. Now, in order, your bread has to expand, so it needs room. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna take my little scorer. I'm gonna go right around each side. Not real deep, just enough to give it room to expand. See, just go right around here. And then you have to kind of do something for the top because it will split open and bust up if you don't. So what I like to do though, to give it a little bit more zing, is I take a little bit of water and I just kind of, I put a little bit of flour, a little bit of water, I just kind of dampen it a bit. Now I'm going to salt it. I don't want to get anywhere here. So now I'm going to salt it because I happen to like my crust a little bit salty. I like that little bit of zing. Now I'm going to a little bit more flour, and now I'm going to score this. So what I usually do, it's the quick, you just make like a little football on the top. Now, I'm just gonna pick this beast up and drop it in the pan. Down here. So this is where you can kind of pretty it up because this is gonna be like what your dough looks like when it comes out. So I know I did just score it and everything. Why are you so freaking uneven? There we go. I'm gonna rescore just a little bit where it, so we still split. And okay, so I have a convection oven that is really, really, really good. And so normally you do this at 500 degrees, but my oven burns it at 500 degrees. So I do it at 450. It will go in with it. Also, you put a water in there. Put a container with water in it and let it preheat all the way entirely. Put this just like this in the oven for 25 minutes at 450. If you don't have a convection oven, you probably want to start at 500 and experiment. 25 minutes with the lid on. Then when that timer goes off, I will remove the lid and let it go for an additional 15 minutes. But sometimes, a lot of times I have to do mine for 22 minutes with the lid on and 13 or 12 to keep everything from getting too hard with the lid off. But this is a particularly big loaf, so I'm going to go ahead and do it at 25 minutes lid on, 15 minutes lid off. And that's that.